AskReddit by LK4Cas. What is something acceptable in women but frowned upon in men? As a single dad who has custody of his son, 5, I have been told, a child needs a mother's love. If I show affection to my son I get weird looks. People always assume I am giving mom a break, when in reality she left because she felt she didn't get to date enough before getting married and having a family. But yeah, a lot of frowned upon stuff seems to involve me simply being a decent father mayo. Edit. Thank you all so much for the kind words. I only wish that we all keep moving forward and loving each other. I want my kid to grow up loving the world and seeing the best in people. The sun rises and another day comes. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. My cousin is a single father to a girl. He asked one of the daycare workers a question about hygiene and AMP. They called CPS. Ridiculous. He's a good dad and AMP. Just wanted advice and AMP. Help from someone he thought he could trust. While visiting my mom for Thanksgiving I saw a woman walking a dog that looked just like my brother's dog whom had passed away earlier that year. When my brother arrived I asked if he had seen the doggy ganger. He said he hadn't. He almost had stopped and asked if he could pet the pup, but wasn't sure if the woman was a teenager or a young adult, so opted not to interact. Wouldn't have thought twice about the woman's age. Most of the time, a woman's interactions with children and with other women are given the benefit of the doubt, whereas due to the actions of some creeps, harmless actions from males are more likely to come across as creepy even if they aren't any ill intentions. Just the other day, I was picking up some Pokemon cards at the store. A little girl walked up and started picking some out as well. She started asking me if I liked Pokemon and stuff like that. I would have liked to talk to her all about it. But I just kept it super short, grabbed my stuff, and walked away because I didn't want anyone thinking I was a creep. I didn't even have time to figure out exactly what I wanted. Using toys for masturbation purposes. I never have, but have heard many responses towards those who have, always been double-sided. I bought a fleshlight back in October cause I wanted to up my stamina, but I haven't used it once mayo. Every time I think about it, it's like fuck, just seems like a lot of cleanup to do later. Having big boobs. I just want my milkshake to bring all the boys to the yard. Mostly anything involving children. Sorry guys. It's sad that I can't walk with my nephew without getting asked if I'm his family member. Playing with kids. If you are a male, somehow they will think you are a pedo. I went to my nephew's birthday party over the summer at the park. My 2-year-old and I went to one of the swing set slide things where there was just one other kid playing, probably like 8 years old. Her parents must have been nearby but I didn't know who they were. Anyway, she suddenly comes up to me and says hi. I say hi, she asks my name, I tell her, and then without warning she just starts hugging me. I was so terrified. What do you do in that situation? I can't push her away. I can't just hug this little girl I've never seen before back, so I just nervously smiled and kinda backed away slightly while she hugged my legs. She eventually just left and started playing again. Later on I mentioned it to my sister-in-law and she laughed. Apparently that girl is autistic and just loves men for some reason and hugs them all the time. I felt relieved but goddamn I was so scared I was gonna. Talking to strangers' kids. Being a domestic violence victim. When my friend was assaulted by his wife, some of our friends were like he probably started it. Many people don't believe women can be vicious and men can be domestic violence victim. One of my biggest regrets was not stepping in when I saw this. Girl that I also a female was roommates with some 15 years ago, went from cool and chill to suddenly yelling, putting down, hitting, and throwing things at her boyfriend at the time. I was so shocked I didn't even know what to do. I'll never not intervene again. Fuck that shit. Abuse victims are abuse victims, period. Being a stay-at-home parent. Yeah, I've been at it 8 years. Some days are awesome, most days are exhausting, but I don't get invited to the other stay-at-home parents things because they are mom groups. No one is specifically excluding me, but it doesn't occur to anyone that a stay-at-home parents might not be a mom. This shit is isolating. Expressing to another person how someone's behavior hurt you. I saw my sister speak about something that was upsetting her, and I think I genuinely felt jealous when I realized I would never feel safe enough to express how I felt to anyone else. I just feel as a man I'd be seen as weak for doing so. In my experience, when a man is upset, even when having valid reasons for being so, he can also be seen as a threat in addition to being weak. Me and my girlfriend were playing tag with my nieces, and some lady came afterwards and asked my little niece, "Do you know this man?" My girlfriend told her to fuck off. After that time I really thought, what was my mistake? What did I do wrong? And wonder, do all women think every male has wrong intentions? So to answer your question, it's strolling with little children these days, FFS. I was taking my dog to the park, and as we walked by the playground a couple kids ran up to see my dog, who loves kids. He was a minor celebrity to the kids at the park, so I kneeled down so I could hold his harness and be in our level with the kids, and they patted him. Then after a couple kid anecdotes and telling me about their dogs, I stood up to walk off, and had a woman follow me all the way to the dog section, and threatened to call the cops if I ever did that again. So naturally I did it as I left, and sure enough she went and got the officer who stopped by the park on his patrol. After asking me a handful of questions, he told her to fuck off. It's insane how brainwashed our culture is against men interacting with children in public open spaces in a completely safe way. Like my dog wanted to talk to the kids, not me. Going to the park with a child. I babysitted my niece, my cousin's daughter to be precise, once. I was 20, she was 4. I took her to the park to play, and in 2 separate occasions a woman came to ask my niece if she knew me and if her parents gave me permission to take her to the park. One even called the police. I had to video call my cousin while she was working, so that my niece could identify her as her mom and my cousin could identify me as her cousin and current babysitter. The crazy thing was that the police woman was still doubtful. WTF? What did she want more? A DNA test to check if we were truly related? Obviously my sister babysitted her multiple times and nobody ever questioned her. Took my son to the park. I was chatting with him, 3, so more like yes, I saw the green slide too, and a 5-year-old girl came over and started telling me about her favorite slide. Immediately her mom took her away to a different side of the park and started asking people about me audibly. Felt so awkward I had to leave. I was just being nice. Honestly, I think her favorite slide sucked, haha. Edit. I am 38 years old, male, USA. AZ. Crying. We should honestly let men have feeling instead of expecting them be this emotionless provider. God. Exploration in every kind of fashion. Especially as someone who enjoys dance, it's been really remarkable to see how women can wear basically anything as long as certain parts are covered. Big puffy pants that come up above your waist with sports bra? Cool. Skin tight half leggings with a poncho? Excellent choice. But men always wear the same shit. T-shirt or button shirt, pants in the usual style. Being timid, shy. Yeah, this is a strange one, because all the people who think I'm less masculine being shy and judge me for it keep me at arm's length. But the weird result is everyone's happy because the less people who want that, the easier it is for me. I don't know what to call it, but I was bullied by a woman when I was school. She always made fun of my looks. I made one single comeback, she started bawling, and somehow I turned into the bad guy. Lol. There was a girl in my class in high school who perpetually pinched or hit my then boyfriend. Now that I'm typing that, I don't know if she wanted his attention or had a crush on him, but when finally he snapped after months and months, she cried and was hurt. I was there and other people too. He only took her wrist and told her to stop. But she had a medical condition that made her thin as paper, supposedly. I think she wanted attention most of all, and she wore a brace for 2 weeks. Even if she was weak, it was a bitch thing to rely on her condition to hit others thinking they can't push her back. Opening up about our feelings, mental health. I had some female friends that insisted I could talk to them about this. I said I didn't really care to be alive some days, and they came back with, "Don't say that, you're scaring me." Okay, I'll keep it to myself, I guess. Hanging out with your kids at the park. Do you know this man? Is he okay for you to be with? Bitch, get the absolute heck away from my daughter. We don't know you. You are making her scared with your Sephora perfume and your scary ass scarf. Going up to a random kid and being jolly with them, or even talk to them. My dad loved children. It was so difficult once he had Alzheimer's to make him understand he couldn't walk up to children and tell them, "You're such a pretty little girl. Would you like to come home and play with my granddaughter and die?" Nursing. Although it's becoming more accepted these days. Edit for clarity, nursing as in being a nurse, not nursing as in breastfeeding. Complimenting a girl. A sex toy. They sell them at Walmart now. I was shocked. Manicures, pedicures, massages, indulgent baths, those sensory touch things that are so healing to our physical selves. Bro, I'm 110% on the bath train. There is nothing better than laying in some hot ass water. With bubbles if you need it or not. Let the muscles relax. Crying. Being emotionally nurtured and supported. Being a stay-at-home dad. Edit. Seeing the upvotes reminds me that this is why I'm a gentle femdom. It makes me sad that men don't have this kind of space that women are almost expected to have. It makes me sad and makes me want to give smooches to and hold all of you. Woman can wear men clothes but men can't wear women clothes. To quote Eddie Izzard, they are not women's clothes, they are my clothes. I bought them. Going out for a night out with no money. I had a very attractive ex-girlfriend who would actively forget her wallet when she went out but didn't care or matter because guys were always offering free everything. I told her to stop being an idiot, albeit she was 21, as to not knowingly or unknowingly place herself in a position where she might help to account for someone's purchase or offer. To double down, her family was decently wealthy. She didn't work or have expenses or anything. Just swiping daddy's card for everything she wanted. Some I've observed in my life. 1. Crying. Society is getting better about this. 2. Being compassionate, seen as weak. 3. Being helpful to children that aren't related, we know why though. 4. Growing out our hair. 5. Not being the breadwinner in the relationship, society is getting better about this too. I have hair to the bottom